What's going on, guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of our Play Now Online series. Currently 52-4 in the Hall of Fame League, and we're going to try and get through this league undefeated. One thing that I forgot to mention in the last video is that for these last two leagues, I'm only going to be choosing one team in each tier. So my tier 3 team, my go-to tier 3 team is the Atlanta Hawks. If we get a victory here in the next video, you will see my tier 2 go-to team, and then in my tier 1, and then once we make it to tier 1, you'll see my tier 1 go-to team. So that's what's in store for us down the road. So in today's matchup, of course, we have gone back with the Atlanta Hawks. This is my tier 3 go-to team, and we are facing against the Portland Trail Blazers. We have seen this team countless time before in Play Now Online, so it's no surprise as to what the players on this team could do. But if you see my past videos when I played against the Trailblazers, you know I always struggle against the Trailblazers, and I always have a difficult time stopping Damian Lillard of all people on this team. I mean, he's the best player on this team, and he has one of the best offensive games on 2K right now. So it's very easy to score him, and he could basically shoot anywhere on the court. And when it comes to crunch time or the fourth quarter, if it's a close game, Damian Lillard, he just turns up, and it's so hard to stop him. So we have to do a good job of getting off to a fast and strong lead, and pulling away from our opponent so that he doesn't really have a chance of a comeback. So my opponent, surprisingly, he went to a 2-3 zone so quickly in this game, didn't even give man-to-man defense a try. And you know, this is nothing we haven't seen before. We've seen the 2-3 zone, we just have to work it around, and this is why I choose the Atlanta Hawks. Tony Snell coming off the bench, wide open in the corner for a three-pointer. He makes that shot, and the score is now 12-8 following that poster from Simons. And I mentioned why the Hawks are my go-to team in my last video. Well, I didn't really say they were my go-to team in the last video, but I listed off several reasons why I like playing with the Hawks, and we are definitely going to see that in this video. And you see it early on. My opponent comes out in the 2-3 zone. Since we have shooters, it's a lot easier for us to work this ball around. And the computer AI on offense isn't too bad either. So it really helps when you have shooters on the team and someone is playing a 2-3 zone. So my opponent has the ball on offense. His game plan on offense wasn't really anything too special, just like in the last video with my last opponent. His focus, of course, was getting the ball to Damian Lillard and making sure he gets himself off to a good start. But I don't think the Portland Trail Blazers in 2K can shoot as well as the Atlanta Hawks, in my opinion. And I think if we were to play a 2-3 or 3-2 zone, my opponent wouldn't shoot that well against me. But there's no reason for us to play a zone because we've been playing man for so long. You know, if the well's not broken, or however they say it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? The man-to-man defense has been working for us. If we need to make any adjustments, we definitely do that in the timeouts or in the coach menus. The most adjustment, or some of the adjustments I'll make on defense, is I'll have everyone switch on the pick and roll, or I'll put everyone to guard their offensive player, or guard the offensive player to tight for on-ball defense and tight as well for off-ball defense. Sometimes I may put it to smother depending on if the shooter is really good, like Steph Curry. That's really the only guy I put it on, Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. But yeah, other than that, I really don't make any other defensive adjustments. I basically just stick to man-to-man defense, because if we go to a zone, then the computer is not in the right place. I kind of get annoyed because I'm expecting the computer to be in the right place. So I'd rather just stick to man, because I know at least everyone will have a good sense of idea of where they should be at or who they should be guarding. With the zone, you have holes, and if the guy's not there and he has the possibility to be there and he can't make a play, then you kind of get a little bit frustrated. And that's why when we go up against the zone, we just take our time and work the ball around. And sometimes guys will stay in the zone for the whole game, but if we eat in that zone up, they'll go back to a man-to-man, and we we'll just do the same thing with the man-to-man. It's so easy for us to score against either zone, but it really depends on if we have shooters or not. And that's why I say I like playing with the Atlanta Hawks, because Danilo Gallinari, you see my opponent began playing a zone, now on that position went to a man-to-man. We run the pick and fade with Gallinari, and it was a wide open three for us. So heading into halftime, score is 29-21. We have shot the ball pretty well. My opponent not shooting the ball too well, 40, 46, 45%, that's about average. But yeah, the lead is not as big as I want it to be, and we could definitely do better in the second half. And I'm telling you, when it comes to the fourth quarter, we have to watch out for Damian Lillard. To begin the second half, my opponent, he has gotten off to a bit of a quick start, and we have answered back with a dunk by John Collins. And looking back at this video, my opponent really liked Damian Lillard, but another guy he liked playing with was Anfernee Simons, and surprisingly, he didn't really do a lot of work with CJ McCollum, and I'm not sure if that really hurt him in the long run, but we'll find out at the end of this video. So my opponent has gone back to the zone. We're in our play, getting the offense settled down, looking for a good shot. We are trying to space the floor. Trae Young to the rim, kicks it back out to Kevin Huerter. Simons cannot contest good enough, and we hit the three-pointer. So that's a good shot for us, making life easy. He comes right back down and scores an easy bucket with Carmelo Anthony, and my opponent is still in this game with about 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So he's still in that zone. He hasn't learned his lesson yet. I'm just being patient. John Collins open, cut into the rim, easy two-handed dunk for us, and that's what you got to do with the zone. See what your options are. Now we're on a fast break opportunity. I believe that's Chris Dunn, wide open, corner, three ball, and that one is good, and we are up by 9 points. So now we have a bit of momentum. Damian Lillard is not playing that well. He is 3 for 10, but we know in that fourth quarter he is going to turn up. Clint Capella, what a pass. Looking back at this video, I didn't even know how I got that pass through or how I even found that guy. So we have extended our lead to 11 points, but our opponent cuts it back down to 9 points just like that. And my opponent in this third quarter wasn't really too good for him. For us, it was pretty good. We were scoring on offense, we were playing defense. The second unit played a lot better than they did in the last game, and my on-ball defense in the last video you seen, it was overly aggressive, but in this game I think it was a bit better. So with the third quarter winding down, my opponent Damian Lillard greens a shot, and that's going to cut the lead down even more. That's a 4-point lead for us. Lou Will coming up the court with the ball. My opponent's still in that zone, trying to find the best option. We turn the ball over, and no, that's all right, because that zone is pretty powerful in this game, and you're not going to have a perfect possession all the time. So beginning of the fourth quarter, the lead is a lot lesser than I would like it to be, and that's really because of Damian Lillard. So, but we have shooters on this Atlanta Hawks team, and look at the offensive AI here. Clint Capella knowing to cut to the rim, getting us an easy dunk. So my opponent comes back up court with Damian Lillard. I'm trying to cut him off from getting that drive with Lillard, and we successfully do that. So now he has to get into offense. He didn't really run any plays except for a pick and roll. He runs the pick and roll or pick and fade here, goes behind or over the screen for a three-pointer, and he cuts it down to a 3-point lead. So we are back on the offensive possession again. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. I don't really see anything working out here, but I find Kevin Huerter right at the free throw line, and he hits that mid-range jumper to extend our lead back to 5 points. But still, things can change in a hurry against this Trailblazers team. Back on defense, I'm jumping because I don't want Damian Lillard to shoot. He doesn't shoot, but he finds Nurkic down low, and that's going to cut the lead back down to 3 points. So it's a back and forth game right now, and we just have to play consistent ball. Trae Young, wide open, can't get it to go, but Danilo Gallinari is there for the putback. That one really helped, and that's one of the cons of playing a zone. Sometimes on the rebounds, your guy isn't in a great defensive rebound position, so it leads to easy putbacks. So back on offense for us, 47-44. My opponent still in that zone. It looks pretty good right now. I'm just having to be patient, seeing what I could get and trying to find the best shot available. Trae Young, wide open three-pointer. Damian Lillard still late to contest, and we are going to make that shot. So a good shot by Trae Young there. That one was really clutch, and I wasn't really expecting to make that one, but Trae Young is a great three-point shooter, and he saved me on that possession there. So now we're back on defense. Look at our defense again. Nurkic gets a easy bucket, and we cannot put our opponent away. So 2-minute warning. We have the ball on offense once more. It seems like he was trying to overload one side, but we find Trae Young again for another wide open three-pointer. And my opponent, he has to go into menus and make a couple of changes. He needs to get out of that zone, man. That zone is not healthy for him. And we have a nice little lead right now thanks to the shooting of the Atlanta Hawks. I'm telling you, that 2-3 zone, when your opponent wants to play that, the Atlanta Hawks is a perfect team to choose against guys who like to play the 2-3 zone because they can shoot the ball so well. Fast break opportunity for us in the corner. Can't get that one to go with Bogdanovic, but that's all right because in this game we ended up switching to a 3-2 zone just to throw my opponent off because I knew he couldn't really shoot like that, and it leads to my opponent quitting the game. So we pick up another victory, and that is one more game closer to making it to the greatest of all time league. So we improve our record to 53-4. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.